Hi, I might be live. Okay, perfect. I think I'm officially live. It's always hard with this new thing to tell when you're live. So hopefully I'm live and you guys are seeing this because I have something I want to share tonight. And I've actually been having it on my mind to want to share for a while, and it just hasn't been right. So hopefully it's right tonight. And some of you guys will join me for my happy hour thoughts. This piece I'm titling The Missing Piece. During happy hour tonight, I want to give a shout out to Jailbreak Brewery, which is a local Laurel, Maryland brewery. They delivered a beer to my house, and this is Mimosa Funk. It's orange with a hint of lactose. So I am super excited about this. So I'm going to go ahead and just break this open right now. I hope you have a beverage that you've broken open so that we can have happy hour chat together. Oh my God. This is amazing. Run out and get this. This is incredible. If you've tried this before, go ahead and comment and let me know what you think. But this is amazing. So I want to tell you guys a little story. And for those of you that don't know, my name is Danny. I am the business owner of Drinking with Danny, and I'm changing the world one drink at a time. And I am on the mission to create a community of relentless dream chasers who just want everything they possibly can get out of life. And so part of that is making sure that I am bringing you motivational, inspirational content to help challenge the way that you think and maybe expand your mind into impossible possibilities. With that being said, I want to talk to you tonight about the missing piece. And this story takes place not that long ago. It was actually towards the beginning of quarantine. So I would say probably the end of March or so. We'd been inside for a couple of weeks. We were thinking maybe Easter was when we were going to be let free. And I have two kids. I have a 6-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter. And so keeping them entertained without their friends and not solely relying on the TV is a bit of a challenge, right? I'm sure some of you guys out there are parents and you understand it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So I purchased something that I thought would help pass the time. I've got it right here. I bought a 1,000 piece Pokemon jigsaw puzzle. So I'm going to just zoom it in there so you can see all the different Pokemon characters, all the different lines, everything about it. 1,000 pieces. 1,000 pieces. That little piece there next to the 1,000, that's actual size. And we dumped all the pieces out on my family room floor, and we set out as a family, mostly me and my son, but my daughter did help out too, to build this Pokemon puzzle. Put in the comments below, whether you're watching live or on the replay, it doesn't matter. How long do you think it takes me to build a 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle with my 6-year-old son? Right? Do you think it takes a day? Do you think it takes 3 days? Do you think it takes a week? Do you think we're still working on it? Put in the comments and let me know what you think, how long you think it takes to build a Pokemon puzzle. So we worked on this for like an hour at a time. You know, we'd come back to it. I actually started taping the pieces to a piece of thick poster board so that we could like raise it up off the floor, and then we could bring it back down when we were ready for it. We could put all the pieces away. You know, we only have so long for attention spans. I'm curled on the floor. My back starts to hurt. My kids get bored. Julie inevitably steps on stuff and wanders around the house. I think she like carried pieces around the house a few times just on the bottoms of her foot. Lindsay says a week. Yeah. So it took us about a week to do, about 10 days. Honestly, I would say probably about 12 hours in total to build this piece. And it's not even just that it's 1,000 pieces, and it's not even just that the pieces are like legit, like this small, if you guys can see them. But if you look at like the nuances of this puzzle, I don't even feel like, in fact, you know what? I don't even feel like the box cover is giving it the credit it deserves. Let me get the puzzle. Hold on. I gotta be careful. But I happen to have it here. I'm going to stand up here. I'm going to bring it into the view. Like I said, I taped it to this board, but I'm still very cautious. But I want to show you guys the nuances of this puzzle. Do you see this? For those of you that don't know, if you're not a Pokemon fan, this is a Charizard. This is the third evolution of Charmeleon, and then, Charmander, Charmeleon, and then Charizard. Charizard's a big deal, guys. Real big deal. And if you look at all the little pieces in Charizard from a distance, it's fine. But when you get really close, do you see like how many pieces are just solid orange or solid green? Like it took me, I think, 2 days to build our Charizard. Okay. So as I bring this back, I want you guys, I'll be back in the frame in a minute, but I want you guys to get the full view of what took me and my 6-year-old son about 10 days to do together during the great quarantine of 2020. This is how we decided to spend some quality time. And I love this. This to me is a reflection of dedication. It is a reflection of how super smart my son is. As we were going through each Pokemon, which I can probably now tell you by name and who they evolved to, I know more about Pokemon than I ever hoped to learn. We picked favorite Pokemons. We had lunch while we talked about the Pokemon. This is Psyduck, so we've decided that Julie is like Psyduck because she's kind of funny and crazy. My kids, unfortunately, have told me that I'm Snorlax, which is this one down here because I sleep more than I should. So I'm Snorlax. So we like gave each other names. But as you've been focused on this amazing work of art, does anything stick out to you? Does anything stick out to you as you scan it with your eyes? Does anything stick out to you? I'm going to get you a little bit closer. And I'm going to get you a little bit closer. I'm going to try to get you a little bit closer, being very careful not to lose any of these pieces. Do you see it, guys? Right in the middle of Squirtle's head, we have a missing piece. There's a missing piece, guys, on our Squirtle. A missing piece. So imagine what it was like for me and my 6-year-old son and my 4-year-old daughter at this point, Anthony and Juliana, as the pieces are finally all starting to come together. Because, a jigsaw puzzle starts off impossible, right? And then as you build it, it gets easier and easier and easier as you put more pieces into place because they only fit so many ways. And there's only so many colors and so many shapes. And so we can taste it. We got the big pieces done. And now there's just these little pockets and we've got 10 pieces in front of us and we're scurrying around, trying to figure out which holes, and someone gets it and we high five the other one. And it's the anticipation of this 10-day project is just reached its boiling point where we're about to complete the puzzle, which we're going to frame and hang in my son's room. That's what we've decided. Because at that time we thought quarantine was almost over. And this will be how we will remember the great lockdown of 2020 is this beautiful masterpiece of Pokemon that we built together as a family. And as we put in the last piece we had in our puzzle, we sat back to admire our work. And we realized that we were one piece missing. We were one piece short. And so we looked everywhere for it. We looked under the couches. We looked in the box. We looked underneath pieces. We shook everything out. We looked under the TV. I moved all the furniture. We looked all around. And this is about... We've been locked down for 50 days now, so about a month ago, and it's gone. I don't know where that piece is. And if we find it at this point, it will be a miracle. Or maybe one of you have this puzzle and you're going to go find that piece and send it to me. That would be awesome. Didn't really think that through. That could have possibly happened. But as far as the piece being in our house, it's gone. And I didn't realize it until recently, but because we didn't have that piece, we didn't celebrate the completion of this puzzle. And we didn't frame it and put it in my son's room. In fact, it sat in the family room on the fireplace where it sat while we were working on it, as if it was an unfinished project with little to no value in it. And the other night, I was sitting there looking at it, and I thought to myself, wow, With my 6-year-old son, we put together 999 pieces of a very intricate jigsaw puzzle together. Me and him, as a project, spent 12 hours placing 999 pieces. I learned over 20 different Pokemon's names, and I know who they evolved to and what their powers are and which ones I would want on my Pokeball if I was Ash. You Pokemon fans, you get it. I know all these things because throughout the puzzle, I had to learn. I couldn't possibly put together the Psyduck without understanding that he says Psyduck and he's like got crazy powers. There's a lot of memories that went into putting together 999 pieces. There's a lot of pride that went into putting together 999 pieces. There's a lot of magic that went into putting in 999 pieces. And because we were so focused on this being a 1,000 piece puzzle, when that 999 piece went in, we didn't feel satisfied. We weren't done. We didn't feel accomplished. And instead of celebrating and doing all of these things we had planned with this puzzle, we put it up on the fireplace and just kind of went on with our lives. And we're like, well, that was a dud. Like, what good was that? What a waste of 12 hours. And that made me think, how often in life do we focus so much on that one piece, on that one expectation, on that one thing we thought we needed to be complete, that we completely disregard the other 999 things that added value into our life? You know, I have a lot of them, if I'm being honest, especially right now in the circumstance that we're under. It's becoming more apparent to me than ever. I can get so down and so depressed and so negative on not being able to see my friends and not being able to leave the house and having to wipe down my Amazon packages and having to cook 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, and having to homeschool my son and having to, clean my house nonstop to only just have it be somewhat livable at the end of the day, because we're all in it, right? And I get so focused on these things that I don't stop and think, yeah, I have to clean the house that we have the luxury of getting to live in. We live in a beautiful house, and we have these rooms and these things that get messy because of how blessed that we are as a family. And yeah, I have to cook 3 meals a day because we're lucky enough to have food in our kitchen that I can do that with. And we can sit down and have these meals that life was too fast before. We never got the chance to do that. And now we have the chance to do that. I can sit down and think to myself, yeah, I don't get to see my friends right now, but I have amazing friends that I get to connect with. And we're starting to learn new ways to connect with one another. And we're valuing those relationships on a whole nother level than we used to. It's crazy. Let me throw this at you. This is crazy to me. I moved away from my family 10 years ago. I moved from California to North Carolina and eventually Maryland, coast to coast. 10 years ago, a decade ago, I moved away from my parents and my little brother. He's not little, he's like 36, but he's younger than me. 10 years, a decade. In those 10 years, you know how many times the 4 of us got together on a video conference call, or a video conference, a Zoom, if you will, and sat down and talked around a dinner table as a family of 4? In the 10 years that I have lived on the other side of the country, do you know how many times we have done that? Before quarantine, before coronavirus? Never. We never have done that, ever. I have video chatted with them individually. Sometimes they're together and I'll stop in and say hi, but it never dawned on us that my brother could be where he was, my parents could be where they are, I could be where I am, and together as a family of 4, we could sit down and have that family time that we have not had in over a decade. Talk about the focusing on the missing piece. Right? So as I'm upset that I can't see my friend who lives down the street, I'm reconnecting with people I haven't talked to in a decade. And I'm establishing those relationships again. So there's so many blessings in life that come to us. And because we get so laser focused on the way that we thought the picture should look, the way that we imagined it was going to look when we were done, the way that we were going to feel when it was all said and done, the way we were going to hang it on our wall, the way we were going to have pride in the finished product, that one piece, I mean, seriously, I could have done this beforehand, but I didn't think this through. I'm a kind of on the fly type of person. So what is 1 divided, let's see, 9, no, it's 99.99. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous that as a mom and as somebody who prides myself on teaching my kids values and beliefs and just reaching for your dreams and appreciating what you have, that in that type of environment, when we put down that 999th piece and learned that we were missing one piece, that I shoved it aside like it doesn't even matter anymore. And so this puzzle to me is a reminder, is a visual to enjoy, appreciate, and find pride in the 999 pieces of your life that are falling exactly where you want them to be, even if you can't find the one that's missing. So that, I am going to go hang this up in my son's room, and then we are going to admire it with pride. I will say, if you have this puzzle and you have that missing piece and you want to send it to me, that would be great. I'm not giving up hope, but I'm not going to let the one piece get in my way of celebrating the work that my son and I put into putting together this puzzle. And I am also going to commit to taking that visual into every other aspect of my life and making sure that I'm not getting hung up on the one thing that didn't fall exactly like I hoped it would. I hope you can do the same. If this was helpful for you and you found some value, I would love for you to do a couple of the things. First, I want you to comment below on looking past the missing piece, whatever that means to you. I'm proud of the 999. I'm going to forget the one. Whatever that looks like to you, put a comment below and let me know that this has reached you in a significant way. I'd also ask that you like the Drinking Buddies page, which is where this is being broadcasted from. And we do have a new community that we are starting called the Drinking Buddies Lounge. It is a great virtual hangout for people that want to get the most out of life, that want to chase their dreams and have a lot of fun doing it. So if this is the type of stuff that you like, you belong in the lounge. I want to invite you in there. Go ahead and search for it in Facebook and we'll get you added. You are my special guest and I would love to have you there. And then finally, share this. There is somebody out there that needs to hear this as well because they are still searching for that missing piece. And it might be because you shared it that they stop looking. So just hit share. It's not hard. Do the things. I hope that I was able to bring you some value tonight. Cheers to happy hour thoughts. Cheers to Jailbreak Brewery. You guys have a great night.